Certainly this is going to be a different type of year, a different type of school year than we've had before, but we are excited to be experiencing it together with you as part of the Albany Middle School community. And I know people have a lot of questions and are wondering how things are going to work, and just know that we are all going to be working together to get this figured out and to get you started with a great first year of school. For those of you who are new to the school, incoming sixth graders or new seventh and eighth graders, I want to especially welcome you to being part of our Cobra family. My name is Miss Brill. I'm the principal. You can see Miss Floresca, who is our vice principal, waving at you. And then I'm going to have other people introduced a little bit later once all the other counselors and everybody have joined in. So this morning, what our goal is first of all, just to welcome you and to say hello, and to say that even though we are all not in the same building together, it was very strange walking onto the school campus this morning with no students, but I know you're all out there, and I know we're all connected as part of this community, and we're excited to get this school year started with you all. So the plan this morning is to give you a sense of some things that you can connect to and things that you know, so that you can move through your school day smoothly. And then also to meet some people who can be of support to you this year. So those are our main goals this morning. And the other thing that I'll say is that we all have had experiences with technology where things just don't go as smoothly as we need them to, and just know we're all in this together. If something doesn't work right, we'll figure it out, and we will get it taken care of together. And so try not to worry too much about it, because we're all figuring this out together. So the first thing that I want to do is just to talk to you just about the structure of your school day. And then after that, Ms. Floresca is going to talk to you a little bit about resources and picking up materials. You'll hear a little bit about tech information that'll really help you get started. And then you'll hear from our counseling team. So that's our plan this morning. I know a lot of you are wondering about the structure of today. I've gotten a bunch of questions in the Q&A. And so basically what I want you to know about that is that right now it is fifth period Tuesday, and I'm going to show you a schedule here in a moment. You're going to have two other classes today after this. And so I'm going to share a screen with you. Here we go. All right. Ms. Floresca, can you give me a thumbs up if you can see that? Great. Okay, everybody. So basically what your school day is going to look like is this, and all of this information is on our website on the distance learning tab, which Ms. Floresca is going to be telling you about. But if you could look at today, today's Tuesday, so we can look at the Tuesday on here. And you can see that it's fifth period Tuesday at 9 a.m. That's where you are right now. Today, your fifth period class is this assembly. Between all of our classes, we structured 15-minute breaks because we want you to be able to be attentive during your classes and to participate, but we know you can't just sit still at a computer all day long. So the 15-minute breaks are a nice chance for you to get up, to move, get water, get food, do whatever you need to do to take care of yourself in between classes. So then sixth period today, you will have, at 10 a.m. today, you'll have your sixth period class. Then you'll have another break. And then you have a seventh period class at 11 a.m. That ends at 11:45, and then you can see there's a break for lunch. And then after that, after your main classes, which you can see are in the top part of this, after those, you will then have time in the afternoon to get your work done. So what you're going to hear the terms this year, you're going to hear synchronous learning, which means all of us are doing something together, and asynchronous learning, meaning you're doing stuff on your own. So when you see AL, asynchronous learning, that's what that's referring to. So after lunch, you'll always start with some silent reading for about half an hour of a book of your choice, and there will be an opportunity, you'll learn more about it later, but to check books out curbside from our school library. And then you'll have the work from your fifth period class from 1 to 1:30, the work from your sixth period class, 1:30 to 2, the work from your seventh period class, 2 to 2:30. And what we're trying to do for you is to have your Zooming happening in the morning, which is the synchronous learning with your classes, your work for those classes in the afternoon, but to have you basically, done by no later than 4 in the day. Because what we didn't want was for you to have to Zoom all day on your own and then do homework into the evening, because that feels like a lot to be asking for you to be doing on your own. So we think the schedule will set you up to really be able to manage everything. Now so on Mondays, you have half your classes, first through fourth period, and the work from those classes in the afternoon. The same thing happens on Wednesdays, Mondays and Wednesdays. Tuesdays and Thursdays, you have the other half of your classes, fifth through seventh. And I should point out for Mondays and Wednesdays, not all sixth graders have a first period. So if you're a sixth grader and you don't have a first period, then you just start at 10 a.m. second period. Okay. And then Tuesdays and Thursdays you have fifth through seventh period, and then other things in the afternoon. Now, Fridays are a special day at our school. You will have work to do on Fridays. You will be assigned homework. It's a great day to get that work done. It's also a great time to get help for anything you were confused on during the week. We really want to make sure you don't get behind. So there's three different things that are going to happen on Fridays. The first thing is we're going to have community building. That is a required class. This Friday, you'll be going to your second period class, and your second period teachers will tell you about that. And you'll be doing community building activities. And then the rest of the day, up until 1:45, is a chance for you to get your work done, to get help if you need help, to meet with counselors, to meet with whoever you need to meet with. And then we have office hours set up. So if you are thinking, oh, I was really confused by that math concept that was introduced on Wednesday, I'm going to go to my office hours on Friday and meet with my math teacher. So those are times that there will be Zoom rooms set up. All of this is virtual. There'll be Zoom rooms set up for you to go and meet with people as you need to. And then finally, on Fridays at 1:45, we're going to have clubs. Now, my guess is that we'll most likely be starting that next week. But we'll see what gets pulled together. Teachers are volunteering and running different clubs, and we'll be sending you links to those clubs. And so just stay tuned for that. Okay. So that's kind of a little overview. I'm going to turn the mic, so to speak, over to Ms. Floresca right now, who's going to continue.
Good morning, everyone. I am so excited to be here. So I know that it's very different now for us not to be at school. And so I know that there are a lot of questions. And unfortunately, normally we would just go to the office. Let me ask a teacher. And since we can't do that, we're going to use our website to really give you that first office feeling, like that first stop where you can get some questions answered. So I am going to share my screen. I hope I can share my screen.
Ms. Floresca, do you want me to share the distance learning tab while you talk about it?
Please do, thank you.
Okay, here we go.
Okay, so when you Google AMS, and this is what you see, right? Here's our school website. And so when you go up, you will see all these different tabs. And you can see the Distance Learning Fall 2020 tab. And this is where you want to start. So for example, if you wanted to see orientation information, Ms. Brill, if you can go to the orientation information doc, and on the side, you see school materials distribution. So that's one of the first things that you're gonna use for this week is, when do I come to school? Oh my goodness, I have all these books and I need to get my books and I need to get my supplies. And so here we are today. When you look at the schedule, let's say you're in Miss Uetta's second period. Of course you haven't had second period yet, and that's okay. But if you have Miss Uetta for second period, you're gonna come today at 12:45, between 12:45 and 1:30, and you're gonna pick up all your books. No problem. You'll meet me at the library doors on Brighton Avenue. You'll pick up your books. You can pick up a planner. For sixth grade, we did send you a new revised schedule that is not up on our distance learning tab yet, but you all received it in email. But for sixth graders, I will see you all on Friday, and you're gonna line up in the back of the main building. You're gonna line up in the back of the main building where our sixth grade hallway normally is, where your classrooms would be, and we will be distributing materials from there. And so what you see on the screen right now is not the correct schedule for 6th graders. You received the corrected schedule from me in an email. All right, so we'll see you later today or later this week. And please email me if you have any other questions about that. What I do want to point out on the distance learning tab is one more thing, Ms. Brill, if you can go to the request for school supplies. Now this tab will be up all year. And anytime that you need school supplies, anytime that you're like, oh my goodness, where is that graphing notebook? Or oh, I need another one because whatever happens, you know, we get things happen at home, you know, or maybe you realize, oh, I don't have that binder for French. You can always fill this out and I get the requests and I will contact either you or your parent to set up a time to pick it up. Okay, so this will always be left up throughout the year while we're in distance learning so that you do have access to the materials that you need. Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Ms. Swaska. So the next thing that we're going to be doing, students, is watching a little video that Mr. Liu put together. Now, some of you know Mr. Liu as a math teacher, but this year he's our educational technology specialist and supporting us with a lot of the tech pieces. And for this year, what we're going to be doing is watching a video that he has put together that talks to you about some important pieces to know around technology. And one of the things I want to just make sure is clear is that we had originally sent out an email that talked about using Google Calendar as a way of accessing your classes. We are still planning on doing that, but Google has had a glitch that has impacted us where Google Groups are not getting populated and we weren't able to send out the calendar invites in the way we had planned. So we are still planning on doing that. That will come later. But for today, all of our teachers have put your Google Zoom links into Aries. And I'm going to just show you that, I hope, really quickly. That's not it. There we go. And so let me just adjust my screen a little bit. So you can see on this, when you look at your class summary, the spot that says meeting. And, oops, I didn't mean to blow that up. And where it says meeting, you can't see it in here, but on your screen, there's going to be a whole bunch of different Zoom links. I mean, you can click join. So that's how you will find it out. So when we're watching Mr. Liu's video, I'm actually going to skip over the part where he talks about the calendar because I don't want things to get more confusing today. I just want you to be able to get to your classes. So we'll watch his video. I'm going to skip over 3 minutes in the middle and we'll continue watching it. All right, here we go, I hope.
Hi there, my name is Richard Liu, and I am Albany Unified's teacher on special assignment, and my role is to support the rollout of educational technology this upcoming school year. And I'm super
Oops, sorry about that.
honored and privileged and excited to be one of the first people to welcome you to the 2021 school year. I think it's actually gonna be a fantastic school year. As I think about kind of the arc of educational history, you think that we started with the one-room schoolhouse many years ago. We had chalkboards, and it evolved to having these really cool high-tech whiteboards. All of a sudden, there was an overhead projector, which projected an image on the screen for teachers. And then we moved to LCD projectors, and now we're in this crazy world where there's virtual reality, and kind of the world is made smaller because we can bridge to people and ideas across the globe. And I think teachers have so many amazing tools at their disposal to teach with that I think it's really an exciting time in education. The purpose of this orientation is to kind of help you to navigate through the how-tos, the basic how-tos of getting through this year, as well as some best practices to help ensure your success in your learning. There's gonna be a lot of information presented, but don't feel a need to take notes because this slideshow that you're seeing, as well as this video, will be made available to you very shortly. Okay, so here we go. The first thing I want to talk about is your learning space, your learning zone. It's really important to establish a space that has minimal distractions and is comfortable for you, to be your regular learning station. Just establish that routine and procedure for yourself. Also have some school supplies nearby, have some water, maybe a few snacks. Since there will be a fair amount of sitting and being in front of a screen, it's also important that you really create opportunities to make yourself get up and stretch, go outside, take a walk, move around, dance around the house, just to get your blood flowing again so you're not stuck in the seated position for a long time. I think the most important thing is to really each day to get your mind, your heart, your body, and your attitude ready for awesome learning. Once you get in that space, it's going to facilitate your doing really, really well this year. In this next section, I'm going to talk about the calendar, which is going to be an important jumping off point for you. Okay. Second thing I want to talk about today is Zoom. And Zoom is our video conferencing platform where we'll do synchronous learning. Synchronous learning means that that's when you'll actually be meeting live with your teacher and your classmates. But before we go into Zoom, there's some thing that we need to do to help make sure that attendance gets taken accurately. And so that is, you're going to go to zoom.us. And you don't, again, don't have to do this now, but definitely do it later. Teachers will be taking attendance based upon the participant window. And in participant window, the default is that your name shows up as first name and then last name. However, on the attendance roster, it's organized by last name. So what you're gonna do is you're actually gonna flip-flop those so the teacher can effectively and efficiently get the attendance in and resume teaching. So when you go to zoom.us, you're gonna click sign in. And once you're there, don't fill in your email address and password. You're gonna scroll down here and click on sign in with Google, and you're gonna log in with your AUSD account. Once you're there, on the left-hand side, there's a series of menus. You're gonna click on profile. It's gonna bring up your name. Right now, my name is Richard Liu. I'm gonna actually edit that. So I'm gonna click edit. And I'm just gonna switch first and last name. I'm gonna put Liu as my first name, even though it's my last name. I'm gonna put Richard as my last name, so that it'll be very easy for the teacher to actually get the attendance in and making sure it's correct. You're gonna click Save Changes, and then you're good to go. It'll stay this way for good. And so now let's talk about actually getting into Zoom and using it. All right, then let's go ahead and go to our first Zoom class. So have my calendar open. I'm gonna go to first period. I'm gonna click that first period. I'm going to English to Mistakes class. And so I'm gonna click this join the Zoom meeting. Hopefully before this, you've already installed Zoom onto your computer. Click open Zoom. And now I'm gonna click join with video. And it's gonna connect. And there's Miss Take. She's ready for class. Awesome. The first thing you should always do when you start a Zoom meeting is to turn on several things, a couple settings. So first, click on the participant menu. This will bring up this menu and it'll stack right next to your regular screen. And then go ahead and click on the chat menu. And then what you're gonna do is I'm gonna show you a couple of these things. In the participant menu, here are the things that you can do. You can raise your hand. So if I click raise hand, the teacher will see that I've raised my hand and I have a question to ask or I have something, a comment to make. If the teacher calls on me, at this point I can unmute myself. Well, the teacher may unmute you, or the teacher may ask you to unmute yourself. You can do it in two ways. You can click this microphone, you can click this unmute button, or you can press the space bar, and that will also unmute you. Once you're done talking, you're gonna click on lower hand, and the hand goes away. Alternatively, you could also use the chat menu. And some teachers will have you chatting to everyone. Other teachers will only have you chatting to them. And so if you want to, you could also answer a question on this. I think the answer is 4 because 12 divided by 3 is 4. Or Or you could say, could you please repeat the question? And the teacher will see the chat, acknowledge it, probably share the answer out loud to the whole class. Other times, the teacher may put you into something called a breakout room. A breakout room, what it is it's setting you and a small group of students into a class, into a separate little room to have a discussion. And so let me go ahead and have this chat send us into the breakout rooms. I'll be invited, asked to join breakout rooms. So once I click that, I will be in a room with all the other participants. Now it's only me because nobody else came to class today, unfortunately. But once you're in class, the teacher may ask you, hey, you should need to share your screen and answer the prompt. And so that may involve you clicking share screen. Now, normally you won't be able to share screen, but in this situation, in a breakout room, sometimes you'll be asked to share screen and you will be able to. And so you click on this and let's say in this particular case, each group has gone to a breakout room. I'm in breakout room number 1, so I'm gonna go to slide number 1. The teacher said, respond to this prompt. So there might be 3 people in your room and the teacher will ask one of you to be the one who shares the screen and all of you can work on this together. So the teacher in this case is asking us to respond to the prompt. We should have youth sports. And so I'm gonna click in here and type in our idea on why we should or should not have youth sports. Once you're done with that, you would, once the teacher is done with the breakout room, you could click stop share, and then you can go back to the room. You could also ask for help, click on this button, and the teacher will come join your room, okay? So let's say that meeting is over, I'm gonna click leave the room, leave the breakout room, and we'll rejoin the teacher in the main session. A couple of other thoughts about Zoom before we leave is that if you accidentally leave the Zoom session, if you accidentally get kicked off, let's say you click leave and you didn't mean to, the way to get back in is just go back to your calendar. That's why I advise leaving a calendar open so that if you do accidentally get disconnected, you could quickly go back to the room. So I'm gonna go ahead and leave the meeting now and let's move into our next topic. So I do just want to confirm that everything that I've been talking about is on this slide presentation. So you don't have to feel frantic about missing stuff because it's all available to you. So I've just talked through it all. I've given visuals. This is kind of like an instruction manual for you to review after the session. Our last topic today is going to be Google Classroom. And so let's go ahead and go back to our window. And what you're going to do, there's 2 ways of reaching Google Classroom. One way is just by going to a window and typing in classroom. Let's let you see what's going on here. Classroom.google.com. And if you haven't already signed in, it will also ask you to sign in at that point. The second thing you could do is from the calendar window, this is what I'm going to refer to as a waffle. You can click on the waffle, it'll have all these icons. You're going to just find the classroom one. It might not be in the same place as mine because you can move these icons around in your waffle. So go to your classroom. In the classroom, you can see these are all the classes that my teachers have invited me to. Anything that you have not joined yet, they'll have this blue join button that you can click and then you'll be part of the class. So I'm going to go ahead and go to this one called 7th grade underwater basket weaving. Now some teachers will have a website in addition to Google Classroom. The function of Google Classroom is twofold. One is to potentially make announcements on, and the second one is to assign classwork. Your teacher, if they want you to refer to a website, they'll give you a regular schedule of when to refer to things. But as far as here, we have a stream, which is where the announcements are posted. And so you can just click on to see what's going on. In this middle tab, there is the classwork tab, which has all your assignments along with their due dates. All assignments, all homework assignments that you're assigned on a given class on a given day will always be posted by 12:30, right at the end of lunch. The only difference to that, so homework is typically posted by 12:30 on day of class. On Friday, where you'll have community building in the morning and the rest of the day is for asynchronous learning, that means apart from your teacher, those assignments will be posted by 10 a.m. But let me show you how this assignment works. So This one, let's click it and see what happens. It says, write a song about your favorite type of basket. Oh, I'm gonna click on view assignment. All I did was expand it. I'm now gonna click on view assignment to show the rest of it. I have a due date here. And incidentally, all the assignments here, their due dates will be posted on Google Classroom as well. So if I go back, on Google Calendar. If I go back to, this one says that the due date is September 2nd. If I go here, I see this black thing that tells me that this is a due date. And here's also a due date. This bottom one that's associated with the time tells you that that's a specific time it's due. This one on top, the teacher didn't put a due date, so it's just due on this day. So it automatically does that for you, so I don't have to worry about that. So sometimes when you make an assignment, you might need to attach a file onto it. It could be a slide, it could be a doc. Sometimes the teacher has already pre-put a slide or a doc for you to enter your information into. There's two types of assignments. There's one where each student will get their own copy. So let's say you're being asked to write an essay, you would just write your essay on that doc. Sometimes it might be a group or a class project where you're given a slide that you're each supposed to do one part of. Make sure if you get an assignment like that, you just work on your page and don't alter or edit other people's pages because it gets a little disruptive. And so make sure you're only working on your particular page. If you're not sure which page is yours, you should consult your teacher. When you're finished with the assignment, you click this button that says mark as done, and then it will go to the teacher as being finished. If you realize half an hour later, wait a second, I want to change something, you won't be able to change it anymore unless you click unsubmit. If you unsubmit, it comes back to you momentarily, and you have a chance to edit it, fix things, and then hit mark as done again when you're completely finished. One note about late work. Teachers have settings to receive notifications when you submit late work. However, their emails might get full. And one thing I recommend is if you do turn an assignment that is late, 3 or 4 days a week late, teacher may have already graded the rest of your classmates. For your own sake, I would recommend sending an email to your teacher saying, hey, I just finished this assignment. I know it's a bit late, but it's there. Could you please make sure you look at it? And so that will be helpful for both you and for the teacher. There's one other thing I talk about in Google Classroom where there's something called Guardian Summaries, where guardians will receive a regular report on whether assignments are done or not. And so teachers are in the process of getting that set up as well. That's all I have right now. I think with all these tools, it'll help you get started. Your teacher will give you more specific directions. But as I said earlier, you are gonna have an awesome, awesome, amazing school year. Teachers are so excited to be with you and get started. As far as this stuff, if you don't remember the stuff that we talked about, that is absolutely fine. It is going to be available to you both in this video form, which will be posted, as well as this presentation. So I just want to wish you a great, great year. If you have any further questions, you can always reach out to your teachers or your counselors, and they'd be happy to help you. Bye, everybody. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
All right. Hopefully that was helpful to everybody, and that video is posted on the website on the distance learning tab that we showed you before. And so now I'm going to turn it over to our counselors.
All right. Hello, everybody. So first, I want to tell you, we can all do this. Everybody take a deep breath. I know there's a lot of information. My name is Kelly Britton. I'm the 6th grade counselor, and we'll meet some of the other counselors in a minute. Actually, do you want to introduce yourself while you're at Ms. Lorix?
Sure. My name is Annie Lorix, and I am part of the 7th grade counseling team. I will be working Tuesday through Fridays, and then the other part of my team is
hi, I'm Miss Bacon. I'm going to be here on Mondays. Yeah.
Great. All right. And we also have Brandon Mohan, who's our 8th grade counselor as well. So there's a lot of information, so I want to keep it short and sweet, hopefully. So for the current 6th graders who are new to our school, every student has a counselor. So all 6th grade students, I'm your counselor. And it's a little bit different than elementary school because you have access to me all the time. So whether it's something that you need help with your academics, like your school, whether it's a friendship situation, whether it's a family situation, whether you just want to check in about something or talk through ideas. I'm essentially another adult on campus or on campus over the camera that you can talk to. And so also just really, really briefly, I do want to let you know that we do follow confidentiality, which means that whatever you discuss with me is private. There are a couple of exceptions, and I'll go into that in depth a little bit later. But yeah, I just want to let you guys know that for current 6th graders, you have me. For 7th and 8th graders, you have the counselors as well. And then I'll pass it over to Annie.
Sure. Hi, everybody. We are so excited to start this year. And like Ms. Britton said, I know it's not what we expected, but it's going to be really great. We have such an amazing school, amazing team, and we are here for you. Our role is really to help you navigate school. And so anything that comes up, that is what we're here for. We are part of your learning team. You can reach us by email. We are happy to Zoom with you. We are happy to phone call with you. We're happy to just email respond to you, whatever is easier. Ms. Bacon and I sent an email this morning to the 7th graders giving all our contact information. And I know that Mr. Mohan and Ms. Britton will provide all the contact information for you as well. Great time to meet with us is when you are doing asynchronous learning. So when you're not doing your synchronous learning, when you're not Zooming in your classes, but afterwards, if you need something, if you have some questions, if you want to connect with us, that's a great time during your day. And then Fridays is also a really great time to get in touch with us as counselors. Kelly, did you want to talk about confidentiality?
Yeah, I'm probably going to send something out to our 6th grade students separately just to go into detail about that. Yeah.
Okay. And so the other thing to just mention in terms of when you do connect with us, we try to maintain privacy as much as possible. I know it's through Zoom, but do know that we want you to feel safe and comfortable, and we'll share more about confidentiality and details in the emails that we send to you.
Thank you so much to our counseling team. Appreciate it. Okay, so students, a couple more things I want to just quickly do based on some of the questions that came up in the chat. So some students are wondering about accessing ARIES, which is where you need to go to get your classes. So I just want to show you something. The AMS website is just, I put it into the question and answer. So if you want to look there, but it's just www.ams.ausdk12.org. And so I am going to go ahead and share my screen again with you. Here we go. All right, so you can see we're back on our web page. There's the distance learning tab. So I had a number of people asking about when to pick up materials. First of all, parents all received a pickup schedule yesterday. We had to update it. So that was emailed out, and we will also be updating it on our distance learning tab of our webpage today. If you're a 7th and 8th grader, it's already accurate on here. And if you're a 6th grader, there's a couple minor changes that are going to be made that were in the email that was sent out, but that's all something so the distance learning tab, for those of you who kind of joined this late, this is where you can find a lot of information that you need. The other thing I want to show you is if you scroll all the way down to the bottom of the main page of the website, there's a spot that says students, and then there's a spot that says ARIES student portal. You can click on that, and that will bring you right to your ARIES login. So that's a nice opportunity, a nice way to get to ARIES. And then if you can, I would go ahead and bookmark it on your computer, as you're going to be going to ARIES quite often. But that's one way you can get there if you're not sure. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing my screen here. The other thing that I added to the Q&A is the link again. And if you check your school email, it's also on there. But today, if you're not able to access classes, if you're having some sort of challenge, you can go ahead and go to, we're going to have a tech room set up that's going to have counselors, Ms. Floresca, me, Mr. Lou's going to join it at around 10. We have someone from our district-wide tech team there. So we're going to be there to try to support you with whatever it is that's going on that you're having a hard time with. The schedule for today I'm going to just remind you, because we did that in the beginning, but there's still a number of questions about that. So I just want to make sure that everybody is clear. So I'm going to do another screen share. Here we go. Okay, so if you look, today is Tuesday. So you're looking at Tuesday on this, and this is something that's been emailed to your emails. It's a couple times. It's been emailed to your parents' emails. It's on the Distance Learning tab of our website, so you can find it all sorts of places. But if you look, this is what the schedule is today. So we're in 5th period right now, a 5th period assembly, 9 a.m. And then this will end at 9:45, which is coming up soon. And after that, you have a break. You can get water, go get some food, stretch your legs. You're going to then be going to your 6th period class at 10 a.m. And you can find the link to your sixth period class on Aries. So remember how we showed you that link? Let me see if I can pull that up real quick. There we go. So this is, you look at the screen and drag a window over, you look under meeting. There's going to be a bunch of links there for your classes. And so that's where you can find how to get to your class. And then you're going to have another break. And then at 11 a.m. you have a 7th period class. That goes to 11:45. And then after that you have lunch. And then after lunch today is all asynchronous learning, meaning you're working on your own. So you're going to have silent reading, and then you're going to have the work from period 5, the work from period 6, and the work from period 7, in each about half an hour. You know, and these are approximate times. We all know everybody works at a different pace because we're all unique, and different things take us different amounts of time. And so for some people, you might get through something in 10 minutes. Someone else might take 40 minutes. That's not what's important. What we're trying to do for you is to say, it's about half an hour of work per class per day. That's about what we're looking at. And you're only doing the work, if you notice, from the classes you had that day. We're trying to make this, you know, really easy to follow, just since you're having to manage so much on your own. Okay, I am going to stop screen sharing. We have just a few minutes left, and I'm just going to answer a few more questions that came up. So the community building. People are asking about how we are going to get to that. So that's on Fridays at 9 a.m. this week. Just this week, you're going to be going to your 2nd period class. And your 2nd period class, you're already going to have a Zoom link for that. And that teacher will remind you about that. So let's see. There's so many good questions. So I think there's a number of questions of like, what do I do if I can't get to my link? What do I do if I can't do this? So we have this tech help in the beginning. And then after today, Ms. Floresca is a great resource for you. You can reach out to her if you're having challenges. Great. And then let's see, I'm trying to think of what is essential to answer. People are asking for the first week of school and today, is there anything different with the class schedule? Nope, our class schedule is going to be just like it is every week. The only difference is that today, instead of going to your 5th period class, you came to an assembly, so to speak, or an orientation, right? Someone was wondering about whether there's going to be events or sports. That we're going to have to wait a little bit on. We do have some different ideas for kind of, you know, social distance, sport activities and things like that, but we're going to just wait a little while until, and see kind of how everything is going in our state. So, okay. I think that what I'm going to do is start wrapping up here. And, oh, and someone was asking, you know, can we do SSR at any time the day after school? Certainly you can read for longer if you want. The structure we're trying to provide is to make sure that everyone does kind of the minimum of what's required. Okay, and the other piece is that after lunch, the silent reading and the ones that are marked AL, asynchronous learning, you're not on Zoom. Those are things you're just doing on your own. It's like your homework time. You can think of it that way. Okay. And then if you have an aid position, if you're an 8th grader, you'll just coordinate with that teacher and see what they are going to have you do. Okay, and someone is asking if I can just show one more time how we find out where the Zoom links are, if I can show the Aries. If you're finding that there's not a link, a couple of people are saying there's no link on my 6th period class or whatever it is, just come to the tech help and we'll get you the link, okay? I'm gonna just share my screen one last time for you all and put up this image. So when you go to Aries on the main screen, when you see this, under the word meeting, you're gonna have a whole bunch of links there, and that's how you'll join Aries today, okay? So we're going to wrap up our assembly now. I want you to have your 15-minute break to do whatever you need to do to get ready for 6th period class. If you look in the question and answers on one of the answers on there, I did put the link again for the Zoom help. This is just if you can't get to your class. And additionally, your emails all have that information in it as well. So thank you so much. And we will look for, you all can go ahead and leave your meeting now. It's great to see you all. We're excited for a really fun, different type of year. This is like historic. We're all making history together. And I hope your first day of classes goes great. And I will be seeing you in classes throughout the next little period of time. We'll be popping in and saying hi to you all, and I just hope everything goes smoothly for you. And if it doesn't and you're frustrated with technology, just know we're here to support you, and we're all working on this together. Okay? We'll see you later.